Quick update on what happened with Team Nigeria, the ICC Under-19 T20 Women's World Cup in Malaysia. Despite losing to South Africa, Nigeria's Under-19 Women's Cricket team are through to the Super 6 stage of the World Cup. Isn't that really cool? They lost to South Africa, but they will still advance at the competition. The match was reduced to 8 overs per side after rain interrupted the play. The rain really messed up the composure and form of the Nigerian team, but it's all good. South Africa delivered a composed performance, scoring 49 points in the allotted overs as Simon Lawrence contributed a crucial 25 of 29 balls. She was pretty good, chasing a DLS adjusted target of 65. This DLS system, I'll explain it later. Nigeria struggled to find their footing against a disciplined South African bowling attack. I will give it to South Africa. They really did so well with their bowling today. The Junior Proteas restricted Nigeria to 24-8, claiming a comfortable 41-run victory to remain unbeaten and secure the top spot in Group C. Who was the player of the match? Chesney Naidu is today's player of the match with a brilliant bowling figures of 1 over 2 wickets for 1 run. She was fantastic. She was everywhere. I think at some point she ran out the captain of the Junior Yellow Greens. She truly deserved to be the player of the day. So Nigeria moving to the Super 6 is really heartwarming. You know, it's just like a continuation of what I talked about yesterday. So this will definitely be a good motivation for not just the Junior Yellow Greens, but also the Nigeria Cricket Federation. And you see, it's a clear testament of where they're coming from. You need to go back to see the previous video I did when they stunned New Zealand in their, in their second game of Group C. The qualifiers, how they conditioned themselves for the main event, and then they'll pre-warm up. Remember, they also beat Scotland. They played 2 games, and one of them was Scotland. They beat Scotland, getting ready for this World Cup. See, all of these counts for something. That's preparation for you, So shout out to the Nigeria Cricket Federation. There are definitely good lessons from this one, that at the end of this World Cup, whatever happens, they can go back and see ways. First, celebrate your small wins. It's not even a small win, it's a big win to beat New Zealand at the World Cup. When you see the Group C table, you will understand why this is a big win for Nigeria. So celebrate that win and consolidate. Let it push you to do more, So shout out to the Nigeria Cricket Federation. Shout out to the Junior Yellow Greens. They've made me so happy. They've made the cricket community proud. I've said it, even when this World Cup ends, we'll still be talking about what Nigeria did to New Zealand at this Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup. So what's next for Nigeria at this World Cup? I told you they are now in the Super 6. They need to win the 2 games in the Super 6 to make it to the semi-finals. Wouldn't that be so lovely if Nigeria can make it to the semi-finals? But first, let's see, why is Nigeria making it to the Super 6? Let's see the Group C table. You can see South Africa doing so well right there at the top. Nigeria is second, and New Zealand is third. That alone is what I'm talking about. That's a clear testament of deliberate hard work, of proper planning and organizing. So shout out to Nigeria. So that's why I'm not bothered about this result with South Africa. There will definitely be some lessons they need that the girls will go back, take a look. I think South Africa bowled so well. Nigeria can actually pick, from that and see ways that they can perfect it. I think they need to just go back and give that same performance that they gave against New Zealand, and they won't have any problem. So confirmation of the final standing on Group C, and that's why the Nigerian team, the Junior Female Yellow Greens, are making it to the Super 8. What will happen on for the Super 8 on the 25th of January? It will be Nigeria versus England. Woohoo! And if you take a look at England and their group, you can see they really did well. They topped their group that had the United States of America, Ireland, and Pakistan. So on the 29th, it will be Nigeria versus Ireland. I think South Africa will play Ireland on the 25th, and then Nigeria will play Ireland on the 29th. So if the Junior Female Yellow Greens the Nigeria under-19 women's team win these 2 games, they will make it to the semi-finals. It will be so historic. I will be so over the moon, to come talk about it. But I like this. This is a big win. People want to understand, for a country that gives so much attention to football and a little bit of basketball, maybe athletics, for us to be talking about Nigeria playing at the Cricket World Cup is big deal. Not just playing at the Cricket World Cup, beating New Zealand and making it to the fight, to the Super 6 is just fantastic, for the development of cricket in Nigeria. And all of these things is a clear testament of the hard work that the Federation did just before the World Cup. I highlighted it in my previous video, so go watch that. I gave a proper journey of how this team was put together to come, to the World Cup, from what the Nigeria Cricket Federation did for the National Under-17 Championships, to the Women's Championship, to the qualifiers in Rwanda, what they did after the qualifiers, the pre-warm-up games that they did, and beating Scotland is massive, because Scotland is a decent cricket playing nation. So that's what it is for the Super 6. You now know what Nigeria will be doing in the Super 6. First, on the 25th, they play England. On the 29th, they play Ireland. But everyone has been asking me, Austin, what's this DLS system that they were talking about? Because it came up. It said it's a DLS adjusted, target of 65. What's that DLS adjusted target? So for those of you who don't know, and I don't know, cricket is so complicated, it's so technical, but I think when you start following it, you understand that it's all about bowling, batting, knocking off the wickets, and of course doing those runs. But what's the DLS method about? DLS, first thing first, stands for Duckworth-Lewis-Stern method. Duckworth-Lewis-Stern method, a mathematical formula used to calculate the target score in a cricket match that has been interrupted by rain or any other circumstances. The method is used in limited overs cricket. For instance, this World Cup, the game was between Nigeria and South Africa, was for 20 overs. And then rain disrupted the play. So the DLS will calculate when it comes back to say, what do you have, what resources are available, at what point was the game stopped, and then tells you how to start and then calculate everything. So how does it work? The DLS method recalculates the target score for the team batting second. The method takes into account the resources available to each team. For example, if one team has fewer resources than another, their target score will be adjusted to reflect this. The method considers how losing overs at different stages of an innings impacts a team. You see, for example, losing overs later in an innings is usually more damaging than losing the same number of overs earlier. There you go. So that's what happened, and I think when the girls came back and it was adjusted to, I think, 8 overs, there was little or nothing they could do, So South Africa, as I said, with Chesley, and Lawrence, doing what they did, it was just easy peasy win for South Africa. So that's it. We're waiting for the Super 6. Nigeria will still give us more reasons to talk cricket and Nigeria. I love it, because for a country with our population, with talent, Nigeria should be, in all of these conversations. So shout out to the junior female Yellow Greens. We're so proud of you. Despite that loss to South Africa, you still finished ahead of New Zealand. Go out there, show England what you've got. Just go out there and have fun. You guys are already record breakers. The cricket world will never forget what Nigeria did to New Zealand. So that's the update. I'll be back again right after the game against England to give you the updates. I'll see you again. That's it.